Hey there YouTube. Today's lesson is going to be on heat and temperature. The first thing I want to do is define heat and temperature. So what exactly is heat? Well, heat is the energy transferred between objects. And temperature is basically how hot or cold an object is relative to a reference point. To measure the temperature of an object, we use a couple of different scales. The most common one is probably Celsius and Fahrenheit. To convert between these two, you can use this equation. Temperature in Fahrenheit equals 9/5 times temperature in Celsius plus 32. And to convert from Fahrenheit to Celsius is 5/9 times temperature in Fahrenheit minus 32. And the third scale we use is Kelvin scale. And this is probably the most popular one in physics. And to convert from Celsius to Kelvin is temperature equals temperature in Celsius plus 273.15. And one thing to note about Kelvin temperature is the notation. So when we have like temperature in Celsius, we write 5 degrees Celsius or 5 degrees Fahrenheit. But when we say that in Kelvin temperature, we just write 5 kelvins. There's no the degree symbol. Okay, say we have two objects here. We'll call this object A, this object B. If there's a heat flow between these two objects, these objects are in thermal contact. Thermal contact. Thermal contact doesn't necessarily mean they're in a physical contact, because if you put your hands next to a fire, there will still be a flow of heat, even though you're not physically touching the fire. Okay, that leads us into the zeroth law of thermodynamics. Say if you have another object here, we'll call it C. And basically what the law says is if A and B are in thermal equilibrium, which is both of them have the same temperature, and B and C are in thermal equilibrium, then A and C are also in thermal equilibrium. I'll repeat that once again. So if A and B are in thermal equilibrium, and B and C are in thermal equilibrium, that means A and C are also in equilibrium. That's it for this video. Next video we'll talk about thermal expansion, and thank you for watching.